Hi friends, welcome to Aisha's DIY. Today we will make a macrame bracelet with some wire wrapping. So I picked out this hibiscus flower bead from Sams Bead Box for this month, and these are beads from the previous months that I had left over. So I just wanted to give it a different look because it was blue and purples. So I just want to mix some green and tan with this, and I felt that this design is perfect for me. So I picked that, and we need some wire for it. You can use 18 gauge or 20 gauge wire. I'm gonna use 20 gauge gold wire. So I have some 20 gauge wire. This is artistic wire. It doesn't look gold. It looks a little bit this one looks bright like antique gold, and this one is a little bit, but I tried the Macrame one that is way too strong. So there is some discrepancies in this, but I'm going to use this. Anyways, we won't be able to see that much wire. You can also use any kind of beads that you have available. It's like little bit of focal and this bracelet would be done. That's what is great about macrame. And then you can take about say 3 inch of wire. Let's just measure this. Actually 3.5 inch should be good. Okay, and I'm gonna flush cut this other end as well. It looks tapering. This is the flush side of your cutter, so it's better to flush cut both the ends. It's actually very helpful. And then take this, and then this is the pattern that I want to follow. But first of all, let's make a round loop. So you need your round nose pliers to make the loop. Take your round nose pliers and keep it over here. We are going to make a wrapped loop. So bend the wire, okay, and bring it around. That's your loop. You don't need a bigger loop, but if you want, you can use your tweezer nose pliers to actually wrap this around the wire. I was trying my left and right, it was not working. So just wanted to see if it works. Take that out. However you feel comfortable is how you work. I have that loop right now secure. So first I'm going to do is I'm going to take maybe I take the speed, yeah, then the spacer, then the speed, right, then a spacer, then our hibiscus speed, which is the focal. So if you can see a little bit of a gap right there. Right, if you want you can add some spacer beads or a seed bead probably. I will take a round ball spacer bead and then add it there. That's what my thought process is. If you guys don't want to add the round spacer, you guys can skip it. this teeny tiny one will fill that gap, is what my opinion is. Let's see. I'm sure this will go through 20 gauge. Not using 26, I mean 18 gauge, but that's very odd. These metallic spacer beads have big enough hole, but it is not going through. So I'm gonna take the next size, which is a little bit. Seed beads is the best option, I believe. Let's see if this one works. Okay, right, and then add this. Yeah, kind of looks good. Okay, this size won't work. I had one, this is from Macrame, and I had a spacer bead which has a very big hole. That was in a kit, the earring kit. It was perfect actually. One more probably to fill that gap right there. Maybe that's too much. Yeah, it becomes a little bit too much. About 2 spacer beads. Let's see if that will work. I really like that look, but let's see if I can switch that to this and this, and still I don't have enough space to finish my wrap. This becomes big as well. So also feels big. So I just decided to add just one spacer on either side of the hibiscus. That's good enough. I'm not adding any more spacer because I don't want this width to be more. I want it to be less so that I can have a really nice curved look there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to straighten up my loop right here. If you want, you take at least 4 inches of wire. That way it will be easier for you guys to wrap it. So bend that wire, take it around, and bring that loop around, and take your pliers, and then we are going to make that loop. So I just took off that wire and I'm gonna add all the beads to the wire and then cut it to the length that I want. That makes sense. So I used this spacer bead which was big, which had big enough hole to go through 20 gauge wire. I had this spacer bead in my stash. I found one. I'm so glad that I found one. So I'm just going to add all the beads right here. I really like the way that it looks. And also I'm gonna take it, leave about say a lot of tail so that I can have enough to wrap with. That way it's easy for me to do the wrap. You don't have to have necessarily a lot of wraps. Just 2 wraps is also good enough. Just even 1 wrap, because the 1 wrap is good enough because we don't need to occupy a lot of distance here, because the focus needs to be in the center part of this. So I just move all the beads down here and then bend that wire and then cut it about here so I have enough to wrap with. So now, so I don't want a lot of wraps, so I'm just bending it and going further. That's it. Now I will straighten my loop and then I will cut my excess wire right there. Then tuck that tail in. There we go. And I want these two to be on the straight side. Okay, and that looks good. Now what we are going to do is we are going to use these not this big ones but these ones to do the macrame. So I'm gonna take the brown cord. This is 0.8 millimeter macrame, and I'm gonna take about say 2 feet. Actually 1 feet is good enough for the side. So 7.5 inches say. And then, so how do I calculate this? You already have this much length, right? And then I have a little bit of a gap so that I can bend this a little bit to my wrist, right? So it's gonna come like this. So what you're going to do is measure this length already. So this is about say 2.5 inch. So I have a 7.5 inch wrist, so 2.5 is gone. So I need only 5. So 5 doubled, so which is 10 plus 3. So 10 plus 3, so 13 inches. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take 1 inch extra, so which is 14. So 14 inch, and I'm going to double that for the center cord. Okay, so you need 2 cords as your base cord, which goes on either side, which is 15 inches in my case. I actually 14 inches in my case. And then to do the macrame, you can have at least 2 feet. And double that over. Double that over in the sense we need 2 of the 2 feet. There we go. I cut all my cords. Now I'm ready to do my macrame. I will change to my board and then come back. So after adding the 2 spacer beads, I'm just going to do an overhand knot right here. that knot I want it at the end. Do the same for this side as well. And move the knot as close to this as possible. We want both to be of the same size, almost. Okay, now I can snip this off. Melt it so that this knot doesn't come off, and then you can leave it like this, the thing, or you can put a knot on top here so that this doesn't move. I feel like this is good, so I'm just going to leave it like that, and you have enough space to actually adjust it according to your wrist size, right? So it can fit 7.5 inch as well as 6.5 inch as well. So I hope you guys like this tutorial. If you do, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, don't forget to hit the bell icon for notification. I do upload videos, almost a couple of videos a week. Thanks so much for watching. Have a good day. Bye.